Hey guys, today we're going to check out the games confirmed for 2026. So without wasting any time, we're starting the list with The Witcher 4, one of the most anticipated RPGs of the next generation, developed by CD Projekt Red, the Polish studio responsible for the acclaimed The Witcher series and Cyberpunk 2077. The game takes place after the events of The Witcher 3, but is designed to be both a continuation for veteran fans and an accessible entry point for new players. The story will be dark and grounded, maintaining the series' characteristic tone, with themes such as ambiguous moral choices and the brutality of the world. Although Ciri is the protagonist, Geralt will appear in the game. Voice actor Doug Cockle will reprise his role, but the developer has not revealed the extent of his participation, keeping the mystery about how he fits into the story.
Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
A witcher? Witcher! Whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods!
No! You chose her. Back to the village. Go, now.
Nay! I must save them! Save the village!
Save yourself! Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
chosen one. It's tradition.
Oh no, no, no.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Marathon is a new PvP extraction shooter developed by Bungie, which promises to take players on an epic journey in a sci-fi universe. The game is described as an experience that puts players in the role of cybernetic mercenaries, known as runners, in search of survival and fortune. It is a standalone game set in the same universe as the original Marathon trilogy, but it is not a remake or a direct sequel. Bungie promises a unique experience, with a class system that offers different abilities and playstyles, drawing inspiration from games like Escape from Tarkov. The game takes place in a world with determined and progressive zones, where each run can lead to greatness. Bungie promises a more player-friendly experience for new players, with a smoother acclimation process. The game will be released for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. Perfect Dark is a highly anticipated first-person action-adventure game that is being developed by the Initiative in partnership with Crystal Dynamics and will be published by Xbox Game Studios. Announced during the Game Awards in 2020, this title is a reboot of the classic Perfect Dark series, originally released by Rare in 2000 for the Nintendo 64. This new Perfect Dark is the Initiative's first project, a studio founded in 2018 by Microsoft in Santa Monica, led by Daryl Gallagher, former Crystal Dynamics. The partnership with Crystal Dynamics, known for Tomb Raider, was announced in 2021 to accelerate development, which faced challenges such as high staff turnover and changes in the creative team. Perfect Dark is being described as a unique blend of genres, a first-person shooter with elements of immersive simulators and stealth.
Generating voice print.
اختبر البوابة بحسب.
What readings are you getting?
We are getting odd readings from your monitor. Can you confirm?
I'm looking at the screen right now.
Our intel places Carrington on the second floor.
On the life we think we know turns out to be a lie. There's only one way forward. Find the truth. Scan's clear. I'm going in blind.
Carrington!
Damn it! Analyze. What am I looking at here?
Carrington appears to be targeting a research facility. If he attacks it, the casualties could be astronomical.
Agent Stark, it's a pleasure to meet you.
How did you hit?
I could use someone with your skills.
To lose everything before I could see. what this world was really hiding.
I hope you're ready, Agent Dark.
Are you all seeing this?
Once you open this door, there's no going back.
Lo-Fi is an open-world simulation game with RPG elements, developed by Iris VR, a small indie team led by Blair Renault. It is described as a next-generation experience designed primarily for VR, but also playable in standard desktop mode and on the Steam Deck. The game takes place in a retro-futuristic cyberpunk environment, inspired by classic works like Blade Runner, RoboCop, and Alien, and promises a non-linear approach, where the player has the freedom to decide how to interact with the world. In the universe of Lo-Fi, you take on the role of a police officer transferred to City Block 303, a degraded and crime-ridden cyberpunk neighborhood. The inhabitants of this place are called Lo-Fi, humans too poor to connect to the platform, a ubiquitous virtual reality simulation where most of the population lives, and obsolete robots that have not achieved artificial intelligence singularity.
This is Lo-Fi.
Little Devil Inside is an action-adventure game developed by NeoStream Interactive, an independent company that gained recognition for its successful Kickstarter campaign. The game takes place in a Victorian world where creatures, monsters, and other mysterious life forms coexist with humanity. The game features a rich and detailed world, with vibrant landscapes and a unique atmosphere. The Victorian aesthetic combined with elements of fantasy and horror creates an intriguing and mysterious environment. The presence of supernatural creatures and monsters suggests that players will encounter unexpected challenges and dangers. Development began using the Unity engine, but the team migrated to the Unreal Engine, currently Unreal Engine 5, seeking to improve the visual and technical quality of the game. The game combines realism with stylization, offering a unique art direction that has already been compared to a mix of Bloodborne and Monster Hunter, but with a lighter and more satirical touch. Kingmakers is a sandbox action and strategy game that takes players back to medieval England during a bloody war. The goal is to change the course of history and hopefully avoid the apocalypse. The game puts players in the role of a time traveler who needs to use modern weapons and tactics to influence the past. The setting is a medieval England at war, where players lead armies of thousands of soldiers in simulated real-time battles. The battles in Kingmakers are intense and realistic. Each soldier is controlled by a next-generation AI that determines their decisions, navigation, and loyalty. The procedural animation system ensures a high level of fidelity in the characters and combat. Players have access to an arsenal of modern weapons, including assault rifles, shotguns, grenade launchers, armored vehicles, motorcycles, attack helicopters, airstrikes, and much more. The game offers a unique combat experience, allowing players to use modern weapons in a medieval setting. Luna Abyss is a first-person action-adventure game with platforming elements and bullet hell-style combat set in a macabre space prison. The player takes on the role of Fox, a prisoner who wakes up with no memory in a mysterious environment. The story unfolds in an abandoned megastructure that extends beneath the surface of the moon Luna. Fox is tasked with recovering forgotten technology within the Abyss and the lost colony that it consumed. The game is a mix of BioShock, Nier Automata, and Returnal. The combat mechanics focus on bullet hell, where the player must dodge enemy projectiles and use their skills to survive. The game offers a fluid, first-person platforming experience, with the player exploring Luna and the depths of the Abyss. The player must unravel the mysteries of the moon Luna and the Abyss that hides in its depths. The ancient ruins are filled with disturbing echoes, hinting at secrets of the once prosperous city of Greymont and its terrible fate. Luto is a first-person psychological horror game that puts the player in the role of an individual unable to leave their own home. The game, developed by Broken Bird Games, is described as a narrative experience that tests the player's senses as they seek a way to escape. The player controls Samuel, a man haunted by the past who cannot leave his own home and is dealing with the loss of a loved one. The game explores the pain of losing a loved one, the horror of insecurity, and the darkness that hides behind anxiety and depression. Luto is an environmental and sensory horror game where the player experiences the fear of various phobias. The game features a claustrophobic atmosphere and a sense of isolation, with a focus on exploration and puzzle solving. The player must decipher the secrets of the house and face challenges to discover the truth behind the reality that surrounds them. Black State is an action and espionage game in development by Motion Blur, a Turkish studio. The game is being developed with Unreal Engine 5 and promises realistic next-generation graphics with a focus on an impressive visual experience. Black State draws inspiration from iconic espionage games like Metal Gear Solid and Splinter Cell, with a focus on third-person combat and stealth elements. The game features over 100 takedown animations, ensuring a dynamic and diverse combat experience. Black State promises a fluid gameplay experience with no loading screens between stages. The game also features a ray tracing system, which allows for realistic lighting and reflection rendering. The combination of stealth and third-person combat elements, along with inspiration from classics of the genre, makes Black State a promising game that will surely attract the attention of espionage game fans.
I got nightmares in my head, I feel like the thoughts build up until I can't hear. It flies up into a creature, and it haunts me so much deeper. Anxiety, pulling up every space, no privacy. Inside of me, they can build and build until the privacy. Whoa, the faking no, game no closure, moving closer.
Keep firing! It's only a waste of ammo!
Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the hole that sucks. I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuff under the rug, all my problems that I shove. I got
You think I need them for power? Oh, how amusing!
make it all worth it. I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories, not a life for the grand and frenemies. I need focus to keep me from hopeless psychosis if I keep moping. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.
The Wolf Among Us 2 is a highly anticipated episodic graphic adventure game that is being developed and will be published by Telltale Games in collaboration with Ad Hoc Studio, a team formed by former Telltale employees. It is the sequel to the acclaimed 2013 game, The Wolf Among Us, based on the DC Comics Fables comic book series created by Bill Willingham. The game promises to continue the noir narrative full of choices that impact the story, centered on Bigby Wolf, the Big Bad Wolf, and the inhabitants of Fabletown, a secret community of fairy tale characters living in New York City. Like its predecessor, The Wolf Among Us 2 will be a third-person graphic adventure game, focusing on narrative and player choices that influence the unfolding of the story. Players control Bigby Wolf, exploring three-dimensional environments, interacting with objects and characters, and making decisions that affect relationships and the course of events.
My energy is next level, so damn you better be careful. I got an angel and devil, he snaps me straight in the temple. I'm ready to be a rebel, I've got a lot of potential hidden inside of this vessel. That shit is so exponential. I need a first class ticket to the top, no limit. I don't play no gimmicks, I'ma take you to the clinic. If you want a taste, come at me and you will be replaced. They won't find a trace of you anywhere or any place.
The new Fable is a highly anticipated release from Xbox Game Studios, promising to revive the beloved action RPG franchise. While specific details of the gameplay and story are still kept secret, the available information indicates that the game will be an epic and immersive experience, focusing on decisions that shape the world and the player's character. While specific gameplay details are still scarce, the new Fable promises an enhanced combat system and a deep and engaging character progression system. Player decisions will have a significant impact on the world and the character, shaping their appearance, abilities, and reputation. The Fable series is known for its rich story, memorable characters, and engaging gameplay. The first game, released in 2004, was a critical and commercial success, establishing the series as one of the most important in the action RPG genre.
I'm a hero. I should do what I want.
We thought you could save her.
You know, it's your life and death stuff. That's what defines you, isn't it? I knew this one hero. I took her in when she had nowhere else to go. Welcome to the most exclusive club in all of Albion. Thought I'd get her out there, make the most of her gift. But you know what it's like when you're young and you have a point to prove. I tell you, this kid, she had it all. The skill, the talent, the power. She was something else, all right.
Saros is a new third-person action game developed by Housemarque, the Finnish studio responsible for the acclaimed Returnal. Announced during Sony's State of Play in February 2025, the game is scheduled to be released in 2026 exclusively for PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro. It is a new intellectual property, meaning it is not a sequel to Returnal, but promises to evolve the gameplay experience that made Housemarque recognized, with a focus on intense action and innovative mechanics. Saros maintains some similarities to Returnal, such as the third-person perspective and intense action elements, but introduces significant differences. One of the main innovations is the permanent progression system. Unlike Returnal, where few skills were retained between deaths, in Saros, each death has value, allowing you to permanently upgrade your equipment, such as weapons and costume pieces. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.
Then everything begins again.
But after every death, I always come back stronger. I know that you are here, and I will find you.